yego twatangiye
nawe head kumwe na Loise Ngarambe CEO wa umushinga wa Gabiro Agri-Business Hub tujye kubisobanura uko infrastructure zikora hari amazi
turabakenya kuba Minisitiri w'Intebe hano muri Gabiro Agri-Business Hub. Twagira ngo dukomeze tubereke aho duhera hariya. Nyakubahwa Minisitiri twahera hano. Nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe, ahangaha niho dufatira amazi. Ahangaha niho twita kuri intake. Hasi harimo metero 12. Amazi yinjiramo hano hasi harimo impombo ijyana amazi akajyamo imbere. Uburyo bwo kuyatandukanya ni uburyo bwo kugira ngo amazi ateke. Stability y'amazi igenda igabanuka ku buryo amazi meza akomeza akagenda. Yageze hariya yo tu yageze hano nabwo arongera stability nanone ikagenda igabanuka akagenda hariya nyangwe murebye murabonamo amatiyo arimo hariya niho hicayeho amapompe akurura amazi. Aha rero kuri iki gice aho cyubatse mu buryo burangiye kuri phases ebyiri. Uyu mushinga wa Gabiro ufite phase ebyiri. Hari phase ya mbere ifite hectare 5,600 hakagira na phase ya kabiri izagira 10,000. Rura ruhande mubona nirwo ruzagabura phase ya kabiri. Uru ruhande uko kigabanyije ahangaha ikintu cyo kizagabura phase ya kabiri. Phase ya mbere. Phase ya kabiri ni kira kizayigaburira. So twinjira imbere turajya murebe ama pumps uko amazi uko ari bukura amazi bikoreshejwe mu buryo bwa automation. Aba engineers barimo baraza kudufasha kuhatsa imashini kugira ngo ikura amazi iyajyana hejuru muri reservoir. Dufite reservoir nini ifite capacity ya metero cube 120. Ni transition ni uburyo bwo kuyafata ari uyashyiramo akomeza muri canal akagaburira ibyo 5,600 by'amahectare twavugaga.
Bifite impact y'ukuntu
ku mugezi kugeza uyu munsi bavuga yuko nta impact ikomeye irimo. Amazi dufata ni makeya. Nta bavuga yuko dushobora no gukora n'izindi system nk'izi ngizi zirenze iyi ngiyi.
Hari intambara yabaga hagati
ya Egypt. Oya ntekereza ko ntayo tuzagira. Nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe, ahangaha dufite pumps 6. Izi pump 6 uyu munsi nizo zigaburira ya phase ya mbere 5,600. Izi pump zikurura y'amazi nkuko mwabonye kuri ya matiyo yicaye hasi iri mu hasi mu butaka. Aya mazi akagenda anyuramo ahangaha akazamuka munsi harimo matiyo azamuka akagenda akagera kuri reservoir naberetse. So twajya kubereka aho system uko ikora hejuru hanyuma amaze hano umwaka umwe n'igice akakwereka wenda uko akontrolinga system kuva hano mu birometero 25 bayikontrolingira hano. Nakoze Nyakubahwa Minisitiri.
Cyane muri control dufasha controllinga infrastructure zose dufite hano muri Gabiro metero y'ibihumbi 14 ku isaha, tukayazamura tukayageza kubika amazi metero kuri 120. Amazi rero iyo avuye muri reservoir bitumirwa utegeka kurekura amazi mu gihe aho akenewe n'aho adakenewe akayifunga.
Explain on the map where maybe you show the location. We are here now. The canal. And we have 7 pumping stations all along the canal. So the investors can connect their infield irrigation system to this hydrant for the irrigation, drip or sprinkler or PPS, primary pumping station. Similarly, we have secondary. The water is lifted from this primary pumping station and delivered into the reservoir. It's about 100 meters from this primary pumping station. 116,000 hectare area, phase 1 and 2. So this reservoir is to the canal. So I think we not.
We will not go into details.
Maybe
Hano rero iyo nkanzeho hano itegere ku mubare w'amapompo ufite hano ukaba wabasha kureba iyo hari hano ikindi nakora nshobora kuba nashyiraho pompe nicaye hano dufite uyishyiraho maze kubasobanurira izi biba tuyigira hano. Aya ni amastructure y'amagate imwe kugeza ku ya karindwi ya nyuma, nayo nshobora kuba nafunga nkamenya umubare w'amapompo ufite naho yohereje n'amapayipe yohereza amazi, nkaba namenya flow rate muri pumping station nayo nini wungirije iyi ngiyi n'itiyo byose nkaba nabikontorogera hano. Ukuntu system yacu rero ikora uburyo kompani itayishyiraho n'iriyo ijya kubisetinga igendeye kuri ibyo bikorwa. Hano kuri private pumping station uburyo yaka bilaninga amaisha sequence uburyo bwa mbere. Kugereza amazi ari kuzamukana n'itiyo ajyana muri reservoir akoresha amazi ufite ari kuzamuka, ibyo tubasha kugira iyi pompe ushobora no kuba nayizimya iyo pressure itarashobora kuba yakwangiza iti iyo abaye menshi amazi abaye menshi tugira aho bita pressure relief valve tuba twasetetse kuburyo niba nyinshi ihita irekura automatic ikaba yahita igerera amazi ikagarura akagera hepfo. Tukaba twayifungura manuel cyangwa se iyi ngiyi igahita ifungura direct amazi ntaba yakwangiza itiyo.
7.
We have 7.
7, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Kubera ko ikibazo gikunda kuba muri project nk'izi ariko abanyamahanga bamara kuzandinga over zikazima kubera ko nta bintu bagiye kugira.
hari 7 turateganya, hari abandi bagomba kuza another batch of 4.
So, these schemes batanga possibility.
icyo kiraro mu bantu bose baje bakigireho n'abashaka no gihe cy'umwaka iyo kigeze dufite inyana turazirekura tukaziha abaturage tukazibagurisha ku mafaranga ashobotse kugira ngo bave muri za nka zimwe za kera bajya mu nka ziri hybrid. Yego.
Ikindi wenda twambura kuri kiriya kiraro hari ibyo tutashoboye kuganira kuko twaganira muri byumweru bitabiri imbere byo navugaga byo ikabyara nk'umunani. Iyi famu rero ni mu zo twatoranije tuzakoresha nka demo y'abaturage bari aha ngaha tuzabikoresha nka demo yo kwigisha ibya embryo kuko ni famu ubona nyine kuri modern farm replicating.
Tanzania hariya nta kintu ibyo nawe
Oya nta kintu.
barimo baraperezanta
zigenda zifata zarapfutse ziracyuma kuko ntabwo zubaka ikinyarwanda kivuga ko kubanza kuzimena amazi akajya hano nyine igiye gukama ngo imashini kamwanya akazakora hano akaza ajya mu gicuba aho ngaho mwitonde mutaza kugikoma bagiye gukama ku buryo atajya mu gicuba nta amata ahura n'ibindi aha ngaha ibi birimo uburyo inka kubona
bareke bakore protocol zabo kugira bareke bagende natwe tugera hariya
urabona leta amata cyiza cyane
hajya gatanu
hano then we replace the stove.
oh murebera hariya you sell it to
You can sell it for beef or whoever wants to try it for other generation. Iyo rwose n'ubu leta iracyari
wowe nitugera hariya handi ntukambike
That sound all right? Fantastic. Is it all right if we go in? Follow me. Come on in. So this is Events, one of our irrigation divisions. He will explain a bit about everything that we have in here and how it operates.
akaba ari idufasha kugira amazi muri uyu murima wacu wose nk'uko babiberetse, hanyuma uburyo dukoramo izi ngizi ni media filters, niyo mafilita manini adufasha kuyungurura amazi akiva muri aho natashimiye kohereza, hanyuma agasohoka hano. Iyo avuye muri aya mafilitire asohoka hano agenda ajya mu murima, yinjira muri network, ajya mu murima. Dukoresha drip irrigation, kandi drip irrigation ni igisensi nko ku myanda, uba umwanda ushobora kujyamo ushobora gutuma tutabasha kuhirira neza. Ikindi iyi sisiteme yacu ubundi buryo bwo kohereza ifumbire mu murima, turi aho ngaho dukoresha tutavuye hano, dushobora gufata ifumbire yacu tukayivangira muri iki gitaka mureba cy'umweru irimo isa. Ifumbire yacu iyo tumaze kuyivangamo hano duhita tuyohereza muri biriya bigega tukayisitokamo, hanyuma tukayikuramo dukoresheje iriya mashini iba hari hakurya. Iriya niyo kuyikuramo ku gipimo cyagenwe, niba dukeneye kohereza ifumbire tuvuge litiro 200, iriya mashini y'ibigega ikayikuramo hariya ikayohereza muri network yacu, none ikabasha kugera mu murima mu buryo butagoranye. Hanyuma twahisemo gukoresha drip irrigation hano nk'uburyo buteye imbere kandi uburyo bwizewe, uburyo bushobora kwekonomiza amazi, bitewe n'uko drip irrigation drip ni every drop count, igitonyanga ucyohereza ahantu ushaka mu buryo bwizewe bwagenwe. Niba urusenda rukeneye tuvuge litiro 5 ku munsi kugira ngo rubeho, drip irrigation idufasha kwekonomiza ayo mazi, ukoherezayo izo litiro 5 zonyine nta gitonyanga kirenzeho. Iyo sisiteme dufite rero niyi mureba, biradufasha cyane, bidufasha kwekonomiza amazi, donc ni ubwo buryo buteyemo. Murakoze. Hano Nsengiyumva Jamari, mfite Rukundo Sirage, donc turaba irrigation division ya 5 kuri iyi famu yose.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, we'd like to show you some of the produce from our farm. We have a few baskets over here. You can take a look. They were just harvested this morning. And I'll allow Mugari Magandi to explain what we have here.
Honorable Prime Minister, you are welcome once again. My name is Mugari Magandi. So here we do French beans, which is this one, passion fruit and chili and avocado. So for French beans and chili every week we plant 3.75 hectares of each product.
Planting.
So, yes, planting. Yes. And for passion fruit, the variety is called Esther. We imported it from South Africa because here in Rwanda or in East Africa we can't get it. Why Esther? Because the export market prefers Esther because of the size and the taste as well. Yes, compared to the local variety. So currently, in terms of harvest, per week for this variety, we are harvesting 4 tons and we've got 12 hectares in production. And for the target per hectare is about 20 tons the first year, and next year we'll be hitting 40 tons per hectare. Yes, and for French beans, the target is 10 tons per hectare, and currently we are around 6 tons, but we've just come into production, but I'm pretty sure that we will be able to get 10 or 11 tons. Then for chili, the chili here we have got green and red as well. So for green, the target per hectare is around 25. Then for red, we are targeting per hectare 15 tons per hectare. Yes, I think that's all.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So these are the beautiful products we're producing right now on the farm. And feel free to ask any questions. And I would like, if Peace is here. Yes, Peace, come on forward. Maybe you can explain a little bit about how we engage with the local communities and bring the workforce here. First, talk about the size of the workforce and how we're doing this.
Okay. So this farm here has around 60 staff, and around 50 of them are casual workers. No, those are permanent. The casual workers are around 602 as per last week.
600 workers.
Those are casuals. The 60 are permanent, yes, they're on the monthly wage. So depending on the activities on the farm, those numbers can grow to 800 or slightly lower. But that's where we are right now. Among them, there are sprayers, planters, weeders, different things that are done here on the farm. Some communities that you have seen who are doing irrigation.
Yeah, I saw some on the side.
Yeah. Even as we drive through, you see many of them. So they show up according to the activities we have on the farm. And I think they mainly come from two communities, Kayanje and Wabiharamba, the close communities. Tubahemba ukurikije akazi bakora, urugero abaplantinga tubahemba irrigation bitandatu munsi, hari abo duhemba bitatu biterwa n'ibyo bakora.
And that includes the meal.
Oh,
so we also we feed them as well. Yes. So you came past the kitchen down there. Yeah.
You can't farm with hungry people.
No. So everyone gets a midday meal, and we incorporate some of our own nutritious produce into that.
I was asking, let me ask you, I understand you come from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
How does it work? Because in Zimbabwe you have farms.
Yes.
How does the feeding system work? Is it like here or?
The feeding
the feeding the workers?
The laborers.
Eating lunch.
Do you feed them lunch?
Yes, it's the same.
Does it function the same way?
Yes.
Where you take food there and eat there? Or do I have canteens? Or how does
So
it
in Zimwa we've got canteens.
Yes.
Yes, canteens. So, but the only difference is that in Zim the lunch runs from 12 to 2 p.m. Whereas in here in Rwanda it runs from 12 to 1. But we start work early at 6 a.m. Whereas here in Rwanda we start at 7 a.m.
But when you say they have canteens, if someone is in like 5 kilometers, do you bring them to the canteen to eat, or how do you do it?
No, we bring them to canteen to eat, or we can bring food to where they are working. Yes.
So what is the?
Usually they come, and the ones that are very far, we take food to where they are working. Yes.
So those that are very far?
Yes.
Okay. Those that are close?
They just walk to the canteen.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you need to train the casual laborers if they're casual, or
yes.
how do you at least keep track of the same people so that they want access to loans and so on, they have some sort of track record? Like what's the...
Yeah. Okay. So we have another sister company, which does training for our staff. But they train things to do with business management, some knowledge of sales. Here we train on technical expertise, train like farming, post-harvesting. So what happens is that we pay them once a week, Friday, the casuals, not on the payroll. And they have savings groups among them. We don't manage them, they manage them.
But we train them in that?
Yes, the foundation trains them. Okay. Later they form savings groups, then they get money, and they're able to have their own personal projects.
Is it a cooperative or is it just Minabisanzwe?
we are
Can
thinking.
they not organize into a cooperative? A circle?
Some of them certainly could. Some of the ones that we've trained, so we've done asset-based community development through our foundation out here. And some of them have formed a formal association and registered. Some of them do beekeeping through that or other sorts of collective business ventures. Some of them do pig keeping. So they've taken the responsibility themselves to organize, to find collective business ventures and to do that. And then all of that is supported by consistent income, right? It gives them a chance to save, a chance to invest, and then develop their lives.
I think as being a farm, we cannot engage in the financial aspect so much, but we can facilitate them to grow that aspect. And I think we can need to move out to the people who work with the financial sector and help them with that aspect.
So we have trained several groups. What percentage of our workforce here have we trained through the foundation?
I think 80%.
80%. Okay.
Because the foundation also works in the communities where we're working, and they were there 2 years before we came. So they trained a number of them. We work with the local leaders, the village leaders, the sector leaders. We have lists, we have a database of those that we have trained. And that are given, those people on the lists are given these jobs before everyone else.
And how do you work with the IPFCs in terms of internship for their students?
We've worked with RICA. So we've had several interns come from RICA and spend time on the farm. And many of our staff, many of our employees are graduates from the University of Rwanda looking for jobs in agriculture. I don't know about the IPRC
So
program.
the IPRC, the foundation side, has thought of engaging them so that we have them come, do internship, but also take advantage of the business centers that they have, so that they incubate them. And if they can start their own businesses, they can, whether it's through our training or somewhere else. But we definitely want to do that.
Yeah, because we need to have many people who know how to do this integration thing.
Certainly.
Although they told you that smaller team, but we have casuals who work along with them, and it's usually around 50 people or even more, depending on the work that is happening at the field. So those people that I was mentioning about, those are the ones that come consistently. I have to show up every day, but we have a team of casual workers that help. So where they're installing, maintaining, doing everything, they have another team that works along with them. We believe that whoever that is working with us gets the skill, and if they can take it to their home, to their community, that will be helpful.
And how much of your land that you are exploiting now? What percentage of your land?
So on this particular block, we're about 50% planted. So the way this farm works, because it's horticulture, it's not staple crops, we plant every week of the year. If we plant too much at once, we'll be having too much produce coming in immediately. So we plant each week of the year. And then during the course of the year, that allows us to have perpetual production, basically the same level, 365 days a year. And then as one field is phasing out, as the chili crop phases out, we add in a different plant family. So we bring in the legumes, the beans, from a different plant family. We plant it immediately within 2 weeks, and then it starts to grow. So in order for us to utilize the whole farm, I think it'll probably take another, probably 3 or 4 months to get all the way around to the end of the farm, so that we keep with that planting program.
So when we get to the end, the first part will be planted as well?
Yes, and then it will be replanted again, and you keep going. So it's perpetual production. That's one of the things that's fantastic about Rwanda as a growing climate. With irrigation, we can grow these high-value crops year-round. There's no issues, right? So at full production, we think there'll be about 1,000 workers on the farm on this particular block. And we should be on this block growing about 500 to 550 tons per month.
You're saying, you are mentioning this particular block.
Well, we have more blocks, and we have another farm that's north of the intake. Yeah. So we have another small farm, it's about 50 hectares north of the intake. And so we have 3 sites that we're developing. And so for us, the big challenge now is 550 tons of produce. How do we get that tomorrow? right?
Market, 14 million dollars. Surely, if every Rwandan was to take one of these, it would feed us all.
Yeah, that's true. For most of these crops, though, most of the market is export market. And we're mostly dependent on air freight to get it to market. So that's the crucial element for us in making sure that this is successful.
Does it have to be that way?
For horticulture, for the most part, yes. Yeah.
Do you have existing, maybe speak to your existing customers, and is the issue more getting the product to them, or is finding the customers?
No, it's not finding the customers. So we have customer base in the UK, we have customer base in the EU, we have customers in the Middle East, in Dubai. We export there. We're actually working on supplying some juice production locally with the passion fruit. So we would take the largest fruits and export them for a high value. And then we would take the slightly smaller fruits and turn them into juice locally. So some of these crops, that's a very good, efficient strategy for us. So we're testing that out. But for things like chilies,
but there's something that you can help us with as well. No, most of our inflation comes from fresh food. So while I understand your orientation to export, but you can also help us stabilize inflation by supplying.
So for some,
as you do for these, you can also do it for others.
Yeah.
Yes, having higher aspiration for export. But if you can dedicate some of your production to the local market, I think that will also be good for you.
So we do. We send some of the local production to the local market. The challenge is, for chilies, there's not enough consumption in Rwanda for the chilies we grow. And so if we dump all of our chilies on the market, the price for chilies will become zero. So we've looked at other ways of adding value to that. With the French beans, we sell our second quality product in Nyabugogo and around Kigali and other places, and that's fantastic. But to get a return on investment, we really need to get the premium prices for the premium produce. Otherwise, the farm won't be sustainable.
Can I add the issue of logistic already, or it is anticipated?
Already.
With Rwanda. How is it?
So we've had good partnership with Rwanda. They've helped us a lot. But I'll give you an example. So I was talking with some of the cargo team, and their capacity at peak season, they uplift about 500 tons of produce a month. Our farm produces 500 tons of produce a month. So you see the problem right there. When this farm is fully planted, we will be at peak capacity. But that doesn't leave room for the many others who are also trying to export. So obviously you can't give that to one customer. So in order for large-scale farms oriented towards export to begin to make inroads in major markets, the capacity has to be substantially more. Yeah.
We have to see how we can adjust, because this is a good problem for us.
Yeah, no, the market is there. I think for us, there are several kind of technical logistical challenges, but we're shipping at the moment as our production. So you come to us just as our production is ramping up, right? So if you came 2 months earlier, you would have had much less production. If you come 2 months from now, we'll have 2 or 3 times the production. So we're in the middle of that plant out, and once you've started the plant out, you've committed, right? You've started the vehicle rolling downhill, and now you can't stop it. The plants are in the field, the fruit is going to come, and then the question becomes, will you be able to sell it? Yeah.
Could you speak to the logistics from farm to the airport in terms of, do you have cold rooms along the value chain, any storage capacity issues?
Yes. Yeah. So shelf life is a challenge. So for us, from a logistics perspective, we're just completing construction of a charcoal cooler, a very large charcoal cooler. So what that does is we drip water into the charcoal, evaporations, and endothermic reaction creates cool air. So it's incredibly energy efficient. No energy, just dripping water into the charcoal and evaporation. That will drop the average temperature to about 17 degrees Celsius inside a packing area. Then we're adding on energy efficient cold storage adjacent to that, so that then we can cool the produce to about 4 to 5 degrees centigrade. Right now what we're doing is we're harvesting, putting it into crates in the field, and then our cold truck is loading directly into the cold truck. That cold truck goes to Kigali and then offloads the produce, which we pack in one of the pack houses in Kigali, and then we take it to the airport. So that's how it's currently working. I think within about 30 days, we'll have that pack house here on the premise finished, and we'll have a little bit more holding capacity here, which will simplify logistics for us. So you have to build in some of that holding capacity here on the farm in Kigali, and that allows you to deal with some of the fluctuations in harvest, some of the fluctuations in flight schedules, orders, so on and so forth. But from there, we ship to Europe and the UK primarily on Rwanda or Ethiopian Airways. So it depends on the day of the week, it depends on the market that we're going to, who has the capacity, and then we take it to the airport and load it into the planes. So that's our logistics.
Do you have any kind of technical barriers to get the UK or the European market? Any complications?
So Rwanda provides us with the best quality delivery because most of the flights are direct flights. When we use Ethiopian, there's typically a stopover in Addis, and then we notice slightly higher rejection rates from our customers. That tends to come from temperature fluctuations in the produce. So about an hour to an hour and a half of ambient air temperature takes about a day of shelf life off of the product. And for some of these, they're very sensitive to dehydration. So if they're standing on the tarmac in the sun, they'll dehydrate in 2 hours. So we try to package things in a way that reduces the dehydration. The sooner we can cool the product on the farm, the longer the shelf life will be. There's challenges all up and down the value chain. I think the biggest solution for us would be larger scale air freighters that can carry produce direct to the European, direct to the UK markets. Those larger scale, like a wide body air freighter can carry 40 to 60 tons in one flight. That will solve a huge number of challenges for us. It'll allow the produce to arrive fresher. It'll allow us to process much higher quantities, and then to really book high-end customers that require that kind of volume and that kind of consistency. That bumps up our margins, and then that makes the economics of the whole value chain work better.
Are you able to meet the 40, 50 tons weekly requirement at the minute?
So today, no. But in about 2 months, yes.
Year round?
Yes, yeah, there's no stopping. Once it's started, it's got to keep going.
What are your views on value addition? So I know for passion fruit, you're saying you're going to work with some of the local producers, but even actually over time, being able to export chili oil instead of
just the raw product. Yeah, absolutely. So we've invested in a very large drying facility here. I know that's not a lot of processing, but we imported a dryer that can do between 15 and 20 tons of chili a day, dry it. It's a large belt dryer. That can be used for other horticultural crops. The challenge is then making sure that you have kind of a consistent and stable price market for that. So for the dry chili, we've been off and on with a couple of different buyers. It's been a little bit challenging. In terms of producing chili oil, I think that would be fantastic. We are not processing any of our chili into oil at this stage. Obviously, once it's processed into oil, shelf stable, it's much more concentrated, higher value. That'd be fantastic. But as right now, I don't have that.
Jesse, I'm concerned about the French beans. When you harvest around this time, so I understand you are investing in charcoal coolers. So also the time between the harvesting and the time you go into the charcoal coolers is very critical because of the core temperature of the beans. That's right. So you really need to bring it down. Otherwise, that's when you find a spoilage going up very high. So even though we haven't opened the road to connect you, and if you don't have big cold chain, but I think those charcoal coolers can really do a fantastic job. I think as we work together to fix the issue of transportation.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the things I like about it is that it's incredibly efficient. You know, and our workers, myself personally, none of us want to work in a room that's too cold. I think the charcoal cooler helps it to get to a cool temperature. People can work inside the cooler, and then we have attached electrical coolers that will be able to drop the core temperature even lower. So, yeah.
Coming back on the labor, do you think that you have enough labor, especially when you think about expanding?
So I remember when we started this project, I remember talking with Alois, and I remember us brainstorming on how we can get labor here. I had a concern. I said, where am I going to get 1,000, 1,500 workers? I want to say, you know, the collaboration with the government here, with the district, with the sectors, and the work that Peace and Jessica, who's our HR officer here, have done working with the village leaders to mobilize people has been incredible. So far, we have never lacked for workers. And I think that's awesome. But I also know that if there were more farms like us around here, if there was another 2 or 3 farms like this, and you're talking 5,000 laborers on a daily basis, that would, I think, be a challenge. I think it would strain the capacity of the villages. So far, so good. But yeah, I expect that there'll be more challenges in the future.
But I was discussing that in the car when we were coming.
Yeah.
So there need to be some thinking about how we can house some of them. Yeah. If we get them from far, and get them from other provinces to come to here. Because as you say, if all the 7 visitors start needing casual laborers, this region
won't sustain it. Yeah.
So we have to get them from somewhere else.
We're already
and we need to think of how to house them.
That's a trick.
Transport and health.
Yeah, transport and health. Yeah. What we've seen so far is
they don't need to be around here. You can have some, invest them in some centers, they provide transport. So which
it's possible. With the improved road, that's certainly possible. Somebody could even have a bus service, right? What we've seen so far is that, you know, in villages like Intebe, once people get contracts with us, many of them will move to Kayanje, and because it's just across the valley, and so they'll come and they'll stay there for a couple of weeks, and if it keeps working for them, then they say, oh, let's bring the family. You know?
We need to think about the infrastructure. Yes. Transport, housing, then people can stay away from home and be able to.
Just on this shared infrastructure, is there anything on the logistics or trade infrastructure side with the other farms that you might need to start thinking about, specifically around cold rooms, warehousing, just to kind of think in the future as well?
So, you know, my observation is that this whole industry has to grow together. Right? If any one actor in the industry gets too far ahead of everybody else, then they're set up for sustaining substantial losses. Right? So, for instance, you know, if Alois and the team builds a massive irrigation scheme, but you don't have enough investors building irrigation, it becomes very challenging to maintain that irrigation scheme, to pay the staff, to pay for the electricity. That lives when you have enough investors who built the pipes. I mean, we have 2,000 kilometers of drip line here on this farm by itself. It's a huge amount of investment. But then that works for him, right? And then if you get too many farms that are producing too much, yes, like you need the mechanization, you need the logistics, you need the cold room facilities, you need the air freighters to get it to market. All of that has to grow together. Yeah. If you start producing too much and it starts spoiling, then that investor will suffer, right? So it's true for everyone. So to answer your question directly, I think creating shared services, like tractor hire services that are professionally managed, right? You can do it in a way that is not professional, you can do it in a way that's professional. That will make the barriers to entry for investors much less. Because instead of putting all of their capex into tractors, they can put their capex into irrigation, and then they can avail themselves of the tractors as and when needed. Same thing's true for cold rooms. I mean, I'm going to build my own pack house and cold room here, but if there was a shared facility here that had, you know, 50 or 100 ton capacity, I wouldn't do that. I'd put more irrigation down in the next block, right?
They're going to probably be renting it to some people.
What's that?
They're going to be renting it out.
Yeah, that's right. I think I probably will. Yeah. So it becomes another income stream. right? So there's tremendous opportunity for shared services, and I think that will help catalyze this region. I strongly believe there's no one farm that's going to succeed by itself. We have to act together. We have to move together, or else whoever's moving too far, too fast, they're going to suffer. It's important. And I think, even as I recall before, the stories I've heard, we've talked with Rwanda about air freight. I recall hearing about air freighters being brought here and then leaving empty. The same thing's true on the air freight market, right? If you move too fast, too far, then you get, you sustain losses, right? So everyone has to get together. Yeah. So we would love to take you out to one of the fields if you're able to come with us. We have some harvesters out there harvesting French beans today.
urabona ko duteye hari no mu rugo kadufasha kwigisha abana kadufasha tukajya mu kigo tugakora tugatanga mituweli tukagombye dufasha byinshi cyane tukabona n'umwambaro tukambika abana tukabona n'ibibatunga baduhembera ku gihe kwezi mpembwa buri cyumweru 15,000 ibyo bampemba bya 15 kuvanamo ayo nkoresha imirimo mu rugo nkayasevinga nkayizigama kugira ngo ejo hazaza nzagire ikintu kizongeraho kandi hari na bimwe twabigezeho kwigisha abana bacu neza kandi aka kazi rwose katugejeje ahandi hantu karimo katwinjiza rero mu nzozi zacu z'ejo hashize twatekerezaga ko zitazashoboka ariko aka kazi karimo katwinjiza njyewe ntari naza hano nari ndi umuhinzi narihingiraga ariko ubu ngubu nkura amafaranga kandi n'indi mirimo mu rugo bikomeza ibyo rwose nta kibazo ni byiza njyewe nkora iminsi 6 mu cyumweru
umugera hano usanga
hano mu ifamu ubundi haba gahunda zo gutangiza dusenga Imana dutangira dusenga saa 12:20 tukaba dutangiye dusenga ubundi saa 1 akaba ari amasaha yo gutangira akazi rusange akazi tukatangiye gukora
tuzagera mu kazi
tugasubira mu kazi saa 7 isaha yose
hano nkamwe mwari
twariye hano twagiye ku gikoni twariye
aho mwagiye hariya
kugaburira indyo zitandukanye uyu munsi twariye ubuhunga wenda n'amashu n'ibishyimbo ejo turya umuceri n'amashu n'ibishyimbo ubundi bakatuvanyiramo n'imiteja ubundi bakajya bakaduherezamo bagira umunsi wo kuduhamo n'igitoki cyo kurya ibyo biryo bajya
byiza rero ni ugukomeza gukora cyane
akazi ni keza cyane ni keza gafite aho kadukuye n'aho katugejeje
kugira ngo mukomeze muhire mubone icyo ako kazi bakoresha nabo bagomba kugiramo inyungu yumvikana
natwe bakabona inyungu zacu kuko tutadufitiye inyungu natwe ntabwo twakazamo
mukomeze rero mukomeze murakoze
All right. Thank you, Jesse.
Want wheat or barley, it will be third one, but these are small things compared to the investment of the combine.
Okay.
The combine is the one who does the job.
Okay.
That's why it's a combine.
It's a combine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're trying our best.
Yeah, it's amazing. So do you think with the size of your farm, the fixed cost of this will be covered?
Yes, yes. It will be covered very fast as soon as we're able to utilize our full land here. Today we have only one challenge with the team, and they're very well and working on it. It's the drainage. The second drain is 100, the rest 700 hectares is flat, flooded land. And if there is no drainage, we cannot do it. And even by ourselves, we bring it just to the neighbor. So
giving services to the investors and even the local people here.
That's exactly what was my idea. 2-season contract. Then there is time, because you understand perspective, without having secured contracts, it's difficult to bring additional machines today. But GACU, anyway, first we have to big land there, so we can do it, and these machines after this continue working on be hired.
Yeah, that would be more efficient. Rather than having, that would be the white elephant where you have a full of these machines which are not doing anything. Like if you can scale it, per day?
Yes, this one. Between 300 to 400 hectares on a day, it can spray it.
Because we are growing food, investment is advancing, but before we get started, we thought right to have the land idle. So we are ending the first season of maize. I think harvesting is already ongoing. Then why I was supposed to meet him last week. No, it's this week actually.
This week.
It was the day before yesterday.
Yes.
So it was to look at the whole expanse of land, and then we decide how much he's going to cover, and then he can negotiate a contract extension. He already had a contract with us for this season, which is ending.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
It's a bit also, it was in GACU, the irrigation invested by the government, big one. So to have this land idle doesn't make any sense, of course. And today, I dare to say that the maize there looks amazing. It's better than ours here, the one we have done there. It is. We expect to see good crops there as well. So also, I think, as I said, this one we'll be able to demonstrate the harvester next month in GACU, working doing the job in GACU. And I'm looking forward to see you here in the next months or the next harvest in next February, when all of this here. I hope that will be a good, well-yielding maize. Farming is a passion, and when you know what passion and patience. This is how it works. It's a slow process. Nothing happens like this. 2 years ago, today we are almost there. Land. Now the team is also full here. It's insulated inside, so the operator is perfectly fine, and we are training now a local team here to do the job. And we are expanding. When I started, we started clearing here 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we started with 3 expats on this, and today we have only 1. The rest is local team who is doing the job. We're training people and looking forward to have more young people. The next one, just to it, is planter. It's again a very big one. It plants 12 rows of maize in one go. It has the big fertilizer tank, beet seed tank. This thing just goes there, and it's also like 100 hectares per day capacity of doing it. It's for big farms equipment. The other one is a fertilizer spreader, and the biggest one over there is the combine harvester. This thing, whenever
can harvest what and what?
it can do everything. It's in front of it. You put something which is called a header, and it's for the different crop. It's a different type of header. For the maize is one. For the soybeans is another. If we plant wheat or barley, it will be third one. But these are small things compared to the investment of the combine. The combine is the one who does the job.
That's why it's a combine.
It's a combine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're trying our best.
Yeah, it's amazing. So do you think with the size of your farm, the fixed cost of these will be covered?
Yes, yes. It will be covered very fast as soon as we're able to utilize our full land here. Today we have only one challenge with the team, and they're very well and working on it. It's the drainage. The second drainage is done. We will be really ready to utilize these machines in fully.
Yeah, and the minister has been telling me that they're on that file.
Because most of our land, out of 900 hectares which we have on the farm, over there on the hill is 200. The rest 700 hectares is flat, flooded land. And if there is no drainage, we cannot do it. And even by ourselves, how we can do it, we will bring it just to the neighbor. So we will make the worse for the neighbor. It should be a complex thing for the whole area here. When the rains are big, like it was this season, surprisingly, the last season, season B, it was with a lot of rains. Yeah, we lost, only here we lost around 30 hectares, like 30% of this field, we lost it due to flooding.
No, that cannot continue.
And the problem outside of just losing it, because we cannot use any of these machines. When it is flooded, it's muddy. So all these machines will just stick there and will stand there. So we are supposed to use the local community here. They help us a lot, and especially in the chili. On a certain day, we have like 300 people in the peak season of the chili. And for the chili, it is kind of a joint venture demo project together with a state Chinese company, Hunan Agricultural Development Company. They are supporting us here. They choose 2 projects in Rwanda. One was ours to do it together to develop the chili in Rwanda. So if you just done 700 hectares in Gabiro. This one was also. Everybody, most of our team right now is in summer vacation. Everybody has to be here latest by 20th of August and start immediately preparation. Will be by 15th of September, we'll be planted 100%. Yes. We have big machines. Our problem today, as I said, I will not stop repeating this one, drainage. Otherwise, fields are fully prepared. These, you see those small boxes there. This is the irrigation. It's fully installed. It's there. We have everything which we need in order to do our job. So we'll be doing it. So we know like a very big canal in the middle of the fields. Here is the lowest, as you can see here, you can see where is the lowest part. It's destroyed. All this has been planted. You can see where it's destroyed between the maize here and there.
No, that, yes.
This has been, yes. This whole, this is old. We didn't leave any land either. This is because of the flooding, this is destroyed.
Hopefully we should decide before the end of this month, the drainage.
Perfect.
I should take between 3 to 4 months. So you may not be able to have the crop in maybe in September, that part, but by the time the rain is coming in November, I think we should be having a drainage system in place.
Markets.
Actually, when we were talking with Shafdar, he says if he gets even after getting the full design, he's able even to work on it. He can continue working.
On part of it, yes. As soon as I have the design, we'll have to we'll put the RTK, we'll mark the trace, and we can still do some part of it by ourselves.
Then they can drain while you are continue your work.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, what you take
The design.
But I think
Yes, it's ready.
But I think it's ready.
It's ready.
I think it's ready.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see this soon.
We are waiting to sign the contract, then immediately they release the design.
It doesn't affect only us. It's first the community, because all this land a little bit there is still ours, but the rest is community land. They have also on the here on the flat land in the far part there. It's also flooded land. They also cannot grow. This is why for years, centuries, let's say, nobody has grown anything here. It was idle.
No worry, we are going to do it soon.
Yes.
Practically possible.
Yeah,
I'm going to make it my own project.
Thank you. We have appreciated all the support so far.
You need to update me every day on how this training is going.
It's our thing. After this, it's our job.
After this, it's your job.
Yes.
And I can see that you are ready to do the job.
Yes, that was.
Facilitate you to start your job.
Thank you.
Really, you can see that you are ready.
I really want to invite you for the harvest, next harvest, and hopefully it will be a good, abundant one, so everybody can be happy of what we all have reached together and achieved together.
Yes. That's really good. Well done.
Thank you.
And as I said, we are here to support.
Thanks.
Don't feel alone.
I'm not alone. I feel the support. I feel it.
He's more frequent in the office than any other investor.
Yeah. He has to be there. Because he's showing something really serious.
He is.
Yeah, showing something serious. The least thing we can do is not supporting you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, but as I said, it's always a fact. This is good. I'm happy from our business here. It was a long-term thing, and it's a dream for me to do what I'm doing here. And now I see it. It's just like a dream almost come true. Hope to see it finally come true.
So, where do you get fertilizers from?
I buy part of them. I buy here. The other one I import. The part which is here on the imported under the subsidized scheme, we buy from this, or some more specific fertilizers which are needed for and good for the crop, which are not here available. We just import them from Kenya, most of it, or abroad on containers. We brought even some more. Yeah, but this is just the visible part, which is the part of the money.
Yes.
This is the visible part of the investment, but also the soil inside. What is it? How it is? How we can improve it? How to live? Let's say all this talk with the combine, we prefer to leave it in the ground, not to take it out for cows or anything, to improve the organic matter in the soil, enriching the soil and all of this. Yes.
Yeah, you have that in your mind. Whenever you do things, you have that in your mind, which is really good. And I like the efficiency that comes from this.
Yeah, this one burns 2 times more than or 3 times more than a smaller tractor, but does 10 times more job.
Yeah.
The efficiency is, you cannot compare.
Yeah, cannot compare. Oh, good. Well, this is something you can be proud of. When I come and everything's planted.
And you should be proud of. I mean, as the whole thing, this type of project like Gabiro Agri-Business Hub is a project which any government anywhere in the world can be proud of.
Yes.
Yes. And we don't have anything like this in Bulgaria, unfortunately. Perfect.
So
okay.
Thank you so much.
It was an honor to have you here.
So really keep it up.
Yes, thank you.
And we are behind you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So let's meet next week, eh?
Yes.
See you next week.
Yes, this Gaku, let's go. It was a pleasure.
nanyuzemo kugira ngo ndebe ko kamera yose nice.
mwakoze nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe. uyu mudugudu witwa Rwabiharamba mu kagari kitwa Ndama mu murenge wa Karangazi. harimo imiryango 120. uyu mudugudu ariko ni umwe mu midugudu 3 yubatswe irimo abaturage bimuwe aho uyu mushinga ukorera. iyo midugudu 3 muri rusange irimo imiryango 312. iyo miryango rero ubundi abantu bahabwa guhitamo icyo bashaka, bamukorera valuation y'imitungo yari afite, agahitamo nimba ashaka ko bamwongeraho bakamwubakira iyi nzu cyangwa ko bamuha amafaranga akajya kwikoreshereza icyo ashaka. iyi nzu rero kubera ko yari ifite agaciro ka miliyoni 18, bashyiraho external works ka miliyoni 20. abantu bari bafite cyane cyane imitungo idahenze cyane bahisemo kububakira. ubwo rero imiryango 312 iri muri iyo midugudu 3, umwe muri yo n'uyu nguyu. iyo miryango uko ibayeho, hari imiryango 115 ifite ubutaka bukodeshwa muri uriya mushinga hariho twari turi. nabo 115 buri mwaka bahabwa lizi nk'uko abandi bayihabwa, bakagira n'ubundi butaka ku ruhande bwo guhingaho bwa bundi bwo muri community block. hakaba iyindi miryango 89 iyo udafite ubutaka bukodeshwa ariko ufite ubutaka muri community block. so ubwo rero ubwo butaka irabukoresha. hari indi miryango itari ifite ubutaka namba, hariya yimuwe yahawe amazu hano. usanga umuntu yari afite akantu k'agapariseri gato gahwanye n'inzu ahafite, n'ubundi yari asanzwe atunzwe no gukora akazi. abo rero bari hano. imiryango ni imiryango 108, bo bakora akazi muri iyi mishinga. ubusanzwe nimugoroba ahangaha haba hari abaturage benshi, ariko mu masaha yo ku manywa ni bariya dusanze muri Kinvesti, muri Zayagro, bose baba bagiye mu kazi. navuga muri make ko ari uko biteye ahangaha abantu batuye hano, kugira ngo twasura wenda umwe muri bo mukareba wenda uko babayeho mu ngo zabo. muri rusange ubona ntabwo bameze nabi, ntabwo abantu bajya babyitiranya n'imidugudu yandi y'abatishoboye, ariko mu by'ukuri ubu ntabwo ari abatishoboye, ni abantu karibu.
Ni karibu, ikaze ikaze. Karibu mama gira abantu. Ikaze.
Njye na Minisitiri bagusuhuza.
Mama mugira abana mwese, mugira abana. Ikaze wanyu kwa mubyeyi wanyu. Mugira abana. Ikaze kwa mubyeyi wanyu. Ikaze. Mugira abana.
Umukecuru yitwa Nyirabuseruka n'umukazana we. Umukecuru twari twakubwiye rero ko nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe, abaminisitiri bari badusuye. umukecuru yitwa Nyirabuseruka, waganiriza abashyitsi bawe.
Yitwa Nyirabuseruka Genete, kandi ndishimye kubabona. Ni ukuri amazina yanjye nitwa Nyirabuseruka ya data na mama, ibindi byo niyongereho ni Genete. nkaba mbashimiye rero, ni ukuri nanezerewe ko ndi bubona abashyitsi none ndababonye. Imana irabazanye, ndashimye pe. Ni karibu mu rugo rwanjye, ni karibu muri abana banjye n'urugo rwanyu nanjye. Imana ishimwe rero, ndanezerewe. Ikindi cya kabiri, ndanezerewe kuko buriya uyu muntu ashyingira umwana w'umuhungu akajya kurongora n'umukobwa, imvura ikagwa, uvuga ko ari umugisha. None n'umugisha watashye, ni ukuri mubyeyi wanjye, ni umugisha. Imvura yaguye nijoro, twanezerewe. Ariko uyu mushyitsi ugiye kuza ni umushyitsi muhire mwiza, ni ukuri. Imvura yaguye, twakize icyokere, twakandagiye ahoroshye. Ni ukuri mubyeyi, Imana ishimwe, umuyobozi mwiza.
none umeze ute wavuye hariya kuri hano ubona bimeze gutandukanye.
Yego ubu se we utagira amaso ntabwo ubu nurara rwose. Iriya se nahavuga iki ko nari narapfuye ahubwo urugaraguro. Narindi nabi pe. Ni ahantu hatabaga amazi, hatabaga abavandimwe tuganira, ukaba mu gashyamba ukaba uzi ko umuntu yaza akana guhotora nijoro, ntugire amazi yo kunywa, ntugire amazi yo guteka, ntugire aho kuryama, ukaryamiranye n'abana bawe. Ariko se ubu navuga iki nareka iki? Namwe ni murore mbehe mutiriwe muvuga. Dore none mfite televiziyo ndarora perezida wacu Paul Kagame, mwese abana bacu nkabareba, abayobozi mwese, naranezerewe. Ibi sinari mbizi. None ngeranya nkari nkamureba nkamuhanga amaso. Perezida wacu turi kumwe akavuga ibintu nkanezerwa. Namwe nkababona abandi bayobozi bakuru nabo nkishima. Rero ubwo narakeye mbeye umutima wanjye nta kizinga kiriho pe. Ntabwo nge narindi nabi cyane, twari turi nabi nako abantu bavuye mu mashyamba n'abandi bose nanjye mvugira hamwe, ariko twarakize, turarya neza, turaryama neza, abana bacu bariga. Nagizaga ku ipikipiki njya kwivuza nkabanze kuri bunkubite hasi nkasa, none ndagenda hano n'ikirenge cyanjye nkagaruka nkaryama, nkiyuhagira nkaryama nkanezerwa. Yewe we
Umukecuru
ubwo hari ikindi se koko?
Ufite n'amazi mu rugo?
Amazi mu nzu, umusarane mu nzu, wo hanze. Nta kintu rwose, nta kintu nashinja abayobozi banjye n'umubyeyi, nta n'icyo nashinja n'Imana kandi yamuduhaye. Urumva kuri namwe mwishime kandi munezerwe, kandi muzanshyikiriza no kuri perezida wa Repubulika Paul Kagame mumubwira muti umukecuru uri hariya Genete Nyirabuseruka, si ibyishimo afite, mfite ibyishimo pe. Ahubwo ngira ngo mumbere nako n'ubu mwabushyitse n'ako kanya, si ikoranabuhanga, ni ikoranabuhanga. None rero bana banjye cyane mama, Minisitiri w'Intebe, Minisitiri, abayobozi bandi ndabashimiye kuko mwatugiriye icyizere cyo kuza kutura. Kandi n'ubundi dufite abana bacu batureba buri teka batwitayeho pe, twagira ikibazo tukabavugisha. Ikindi navuga rwose, ibindi byose naba ngiye kubeshya. Ngiye kubeshya pe.
arifuje kubereka inzu uko iteye kugira ngo barebe ya nzu babwiraga. Sinzi ko
mwa rwose muyijyemo. None se ko ari ibyishimo, mbona amafaranga nkarya nkagura ibintu byiza nkashima. Namwe rero mwagenda mushima kuko mukareba n'ibyo mumpa ko nanjye mbigirisha akamaro, n'ibyo mbona ko bikora neza. Nta kibazo rwose, nta kibazo. Muhaguruke murebe, mujye munavuga muti umukecuru ntabwo yangiza. Umukecuru ntabwo yangiza. Ka kantu kanyu ko
turahabonye, turabona ko wishimye.
Nishimye pe.
Byari byose n'ahandi hameze gutya
cyane mama.
Byiza byose turabishimiye cyane. Ubutumwa duhaye turabumva.
Ikindi cyo mbashakaho, muzamubwire anshakire, dore aba bana banyu bazanshakira inka yo kujyamo amata. Iyo niyo njye nywa amata ne kwicwa n'ubworo. Ibindi byose ndashima nta kintu cyane rwose. Ikiraro kijyemo inka ya kijyambere njye nywa n'abuzukuru. Nturora se n'ubukwiji iyo abageni beza, abageni beza, muri abagenere, muri abageni cyane, muri abageni pe. Burya iyo umuntu yaje ari umuntu mwiza azana n'umuco w'ibyo. ihumane ibindi byose naba ndiganyije ibyanjye ni byiza cyane nta ibyanjye ni byiza pe abana banjye bameze neza bariga abuzukuru barakaraba turaryama heza turarya neza umuceri tutaryaga ntacyo tubuze iki abuzukuru kugira ngo bafite nko ku 8 bamwe ni bakuru barangana nabo umukobwa arangana n'uyu n'uyu nawe arangana n'uyu abuzukuru barahari n'abandi bato bari mu masiriya ariko ubwo naranezerewe nanjye baraza bakansanga hano nkanezerewe naranezerewe ariko mu byumba njyewe umunezero mfite iyo bwije nijoro ndabyiha nkatinya akadiho Kagame tore yambereye akabando maze ntagatinya